વાઇબ્રન્ટ ગુજરાત ગ્લોબલ સમિટ 2017ના આયોજનમાં નોબેલ પ્રાઇઝ સિરીઝ 2017 અંતર્ગત નોબેલ ડાયલોગ 2017 સેમિનાર મહાત્મા મંદિર ગાંધીનગર ખાતે યોજાયો હતો. આ સેમિનાર નોબેલ પારિતોષિક વિજેતાઓ પૈકીના 9 રત્નોએ ભાગ લીધો હતો. આ સેમિનારના પ્રથમ સત્રનો વિષય હતો બેઝિક ઓર એપ્લાઇડ રિસર્ચ ફોસ્ટરિંગ એન્ડ ઇનોવેટિવ એન્વાયરમેન્ટ હતો, જેમાં કેમેસ્ટ્રી નોબેલ પ્રાઇઝ વિજેતા વૈજ્ઞાનિક ડોક્ટર એડ યોનાથ, ફિઝિક્સ નોબેલ પ્રાઇઝ વિજેતા ડોક્ટર ડેવિડ ગ્રોસ, કેમેસ્ટ્રી નોબેલ પ્રાઇઝ વિજેતા ડોક્ટર હાર્મુટ મિશેલ, ફિઝિક્સ નોબેલ પ્રાઇઝ વિજેતા ડોક્ટર સર્જ અને કેમેસ્ટ્રી નોબેલ પ્રાઇઝ વિજેતા વૈજ્ઞાનિક ડોક્ટર વિલિયમ મોર્નાર હાજર રહ્યા હતા.
I can solve this. I can fix this. I can fly this. I can create this. I can explore this. I can decode this. I can treat this. I can predict this. I can connect these. I can save this. Because I am a human being. Where there are humans, there will be challenges. And where there are challenges, there is science. Science is born through the hunger to search and to research. And no society can do without scientific research. But the question is, how can emerging economies invest in science and technology and use that to address challenges that face their societies? And at the same time lead from the front in discovery and curiosity-driven research. How best is it to foster research-based progress in India? Let's get to know about some masters of science.
I'd also like to welcome our 9 Nobel laureate guests. It's extraordinarily unusual to manage to get a couple of them together in the same room. Getting 9 of them together is quite an achievement. And so, warm welcome to them. And thanks to Nobel Media and the Nobel Foundation for all the work they've done in making this happen, both yesterday at the inauguration of the Nobel exhibition and today at the Nobel Dialogue. Our hosts in Gujarat, the Chief Minister, the ministers, all our colleagues involved at yesterday's event at the Science City and today here at Vibrant Gujarat have done an extraordinary job with characteristic calm and efficiency, and I'd like to personally thank on behalf of the Government of India all of the Government of Gujarat for all their work. So let's give them a big hand.
Eda Yonath, the first Israeli woman to win the Nobel Prize in Chemistry. Her study of ribosomes, the tiniest particles present on this planet, was a massive contribution to the development of antibiotics. David Gross, the noble mind behind the discovery of new answers in the field of particle physics. William Murner, who with a beautiful amalgamation of physics and chemistry brought to light new dimensions in microscopy. Sir Jaosh, who designed ingenious experiments and opened up the quantum world to understand the relationship between light and matter. And Hartmut Michel, who made the impossible possible by determining a 3-dimensional structure of a photosynthetic reaction center. So, today, in the presence of India's brightest young minds, the crème de la crème of the scientific community will discuss and debate on a spectrum of topics. Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit 2017. Nobel Prize Series India 2017. Nobel Dialogue 2017.
If we get to where we were supposed to get, if we get to where we want to get, this is the end. Maybe afterwards it can be improved, but this is the end as far as science is concerned. When one does non-applicative research, open research or curiosity-driven research, we don't know how we go. We don't know where we get to. And if we don't restrict ourselves, like what the governments are doing now, as was said a few minutes ago correctly, then we can reach heights that we don't even dream about. And I think this is the big difference between the two types of research, the scope. If we want to get to some specific point, and we get it if we do very well in the lab, very good research, we get there, but that's it.
Basic science is often called curiosity-driven science. And of course, curiosity is one of the primary features of Homo sapiens. It's what's made us what we are. We are creatures evolved, instructed by natural evolution to try to understand and control the world. That created by evolution our unique feature of language and of the human intellect. So we're all curious, and one of the great contributions of science, period, is the understanding it gives us of who we are and how things work and where we came from and how nature works and how we might control it and use it to our advantage, or sometimes, unfortunately, to our disadvantage. But the primary feature of Homo sapiens is to understand. So just satisfying our curiosity, one of the goals of basic science, is itself, I think, a primary contribution to human culture and to humanity as a whole.
There is astronomy, also very unlikely that you can apply the results you create in astronomy. I'm particularly fascinated for the moment by the results of sequencing the genome, the DNA from old human bones, which became possible due to German research by a Swede. And we now know much about our genetic background and about the genetic background of the general populations. I'm fascinated by the finding that we Europeans have a threefold genetic background, first by old hunter-gatherers, then by agriculture people coming from the Near East, and later on by a pastoral society which came from southern Russia to Europe and most likely brought the Indo-European languages, but also not only to Europe but also to India. These are very interesting results. I like to read this, but there's no application. It changes completely when we go to biomedical research. And what would be my goal in understanding the human body would be to know which proteins are active in each cell. The human body consists of more than 200 different cell types. The human body has 23,000 genes, basic genes, but each cell type possesses only about 6,000 of these genes. We do not know which genes, which proteins are made in each individual cell type. And I like to have this knowledge from the fertilized egg, from the beginning, then upon the division to the next cell, to the next cell generation, and at the end, from that, to understand each tissue, which proteins are active and in each cell type and how do they interact. Then we understand most of the diseases.
None of the great discoveries and the great applications and the great devices which have come in the 20th century were forecast. People imagined that the transportation will be made by balloons, that there will be some kind of hybrids between trains and ships. And so this was just extrapolation of 19th century physics. Nobody had predicted the cell phone, the computers, the laser, and so on. And this is because quantum physics was lacking. At that time, there was no knowledge about the internal structure of matter, no knowledge about atoms, about photons. And so it was impossible to imagine what would come in the 20th century. And we are now in the same kind of situation. We have made tremendous progresses. We know how to manipulate single particles, how to observe directly single atoms, but we don't know what this will give as application. Some people believe that one day we'll have a quantum computer, that someday we will be able to teleport things and objects, but these are just extrapolation, obvious extrapolation, and I believe that what will happen will be surprising, and as surprising to us as a computer or laser would be to Lord Kelvin in the year 1900.
We were supposed to be famous for both our science and technology. That is, one could be a fundamental scientist, do basic experiments, but you could also do working on a particular product. And you could do well by either one. But the nice aspect of that time is that we were trying to create a new type of optical storage. We wanted to store data in molecules, if you like, and arrays of molecules. Store digital data in arrays of molecules. And that's a technology development idea. You can work on building something to do this and so on. But the beautiful aspect of that environment is that we could also ask fundamental questions about this idea. How far could it be pushed? What was the best signal to noise that you could get? And I got excited about asking the question, well, can you go down to the level of one molecule? Can you use light to detect one molecule? And you can see how that might be related to this overall application, but it's a very fundamental question at the forefronts of what might be possible. And so we set out to detect a single molecule optically, and we did do that in 1989, so nearly 30 years ago. Well, it was a very esoteric experiment at that time, low temperatures. We didn't know how far it would go. We didn't know what its ultimate application was. And so in a sense, part of that was really curiosity-driven, since it hadn't been done before. However, when you open a new regime like that, you start seeing surprises. The single molecules would behave in fascinating ways. We could control them with light. We could do different things with the molecules. And over time, that turned into a completely different application at room temperature for observing detailed structures inside cells with very, very high resolution. This super resolution idea that was part of the Nobel Prize. So we use those individual molecules as, if you like, as samples of the position of a structure, so that you can measure information far beyond this fundamental limit of diffraction, a physical law of diffraction, that you can beat by using individual molecules. So the point of telling you this story is that it illustrates how basic science and applied science actually work together. And there was a challenge that was an application that we wanted to think about. But if we could invent new things and measure new behaviors, we might be able to push that application further along. And in the other direction, this whole field of detecting single molecules has profited from great advances in astronomy and detectors for measuring light from stars. And those detectors are what we use now to measure these beautiful images of cells at very, very high resolution.
આ સેમિનારમાં વૈજ્ઞાનિકોનો મુખ્ય હેતુ એ હતો કે કુતૂહલતા એ માનવીય વિચારશીલતાને નવી નવી ક્ષિતિજો સુધી લઈ જાય છે. કોઈ પણ નવું ઉપકરણ હોય કે તેની પાછળ પાયામાં કુતૂહલતા જ રહેલી છે. આને લીધે આપણે માનવીય સભ્યતામાં અને સમાજ એમ બંનેમાં ખૂબ જ મોટી ક્રાંતિઓ ઉદ્ભવી છે. ઔદ્યોગિક ક્રાંતિ જેણે આપણને સ્વયં સંચાલિત સાધનો દ્વારા શ્રમમાંથી મુક્તિ અપાવી છે. ત્યારબાદ માહિતી ક્ષેત્રની ક્રાંતિ જેણે વિશ્વને આંગળીના ટેરવે લાવી દીધું છે અને મોટા પાયે સંપર્કની સુવિધાઓ તત્પર બનાવી છે. આ સંશોધનોમાં ઉન્નતિની તક રહેલી છે. તેથી આ ઉન્નતિનો વ્યાપ વધે અને દેશની અનુક જરૂરિયાત સાથે આવી સંશોધનની તકો સાંકળવામાં આવે તો મોટા પાયે વિકાસ સાચા અર્થમાં ફળે. આ સેમિનારના અંતે શિક્ષણ મંત્રી શ્રી ભૂપેન્દ્રસિંહ ચુડાસમાના હસ્તે આ નોબેલ પ્રાઇઝ વિજેતાઓને મોમેન્ટો આપી સન્માન કરવામાં આવ્યું હતું.
એક સાથે કોઈ રાજ્યમાં 9 નોબેલ લોરિએટ્સ આવે અને એક ફંક્શનમાં એક સ્ટેજ ઉપર બેસે એક અભૂતપૂર્વ ઘટના છે અને ગુજરાત એ અભૂતપૂર્વ ઘટના માટે નસીબદાર બન્યું છે. કારણ કે નરેન્દ્ર મોદી ગુજરાતના છે અને દેશના વડાપ્રધાન છે, એનો લાભ ગુજરાતને મળ્યો છે. અત્યારે જ એમનું પેનલ ડિસ્કશન ચાલી રહ્યું છે. હું એમાં અત્યાર સુધી બેઠો હતો. મને પહેલા સેશનમાં એમાંથી 5 મહાનુભાવોને મોમેન્ટો આપવાનું સદભાગ્ય પ્રાપ્ત થયું છે. ઉચ્ચ કક્ષાના સાયન્ટિસ્ટ છે બધા, અને એમણે વિશ્વના સાયન્ટિસ્ટો વિશે પોતાની વાતો કરી, અનુભવોનું કથન કર્યું છે. હાજર રહેલા અમારા બધા જ શિક્ષણ વિભાગના વાઇસ ચાન્સેલરો, અનુભવી પ્રોફેસરો જૂના અને અમારા વિદ્યાર્થીઓ, એ બધા સાથેની એમની જે પ્રશ્નોત્તરી થઈ એ પણ બધાના જાણવા માટે ખૂબ અગત્યની પુરવાર થઈ છે. અને એમને મેં ગુજરાત સરકાર વતી, ગુજરાત વતી શિક્ષણ વિભાગ તરફથી હૃદયપૂર્વક આવકાર આપ્યો છે.
સાહેબ, આપે વાઇબ્રન્ટ 2017માં શિક્ષણ અંગેના પણ કેટલાક એમઓયુ કરેલા છે, તો એ કહેશો?
અત્યાર સુધીમાં જે એમઓયુ શિક્ષણ વિભાગમાં થયા એનાથી સૌથી વધારે એમઓયુ આ વખતે, એટલે કે 157 જેટલા એમઓયુ, આ હું પરમ દિવસની વાત કરું છું, કદાચ આજકાલમાં એમાં વધારો પણ થયો હોય. એમાં પ્રાથમિક, માધ્યમિક, ઉચ્ચ માધ્યમિક, કોલેજ, યુનિવર્સિટી, કુલ 7 તો નવી યુનિવર્સિટીઓ આવી રહી છે. એમ મળીને 100થી માંડીને 1500 કરોડ રૂપિયા સુધીના રોકાણ માટેના ઈરાદાઓ અત્યાર સુધીમાં આવ્યા છે, જેના પરિણામે હજારોની સંખ્યામાં રોજગારી પ્રાપ્ત થશે ગુજરાતમાં.
વિદ્યાર્થીઓમાં સાયન્ટિફિક ટેમ્પર વધે, એ પ્રત્યે, વિજ્ઞાન પ્રત્યે રુચિ કેળવાય, એ અંગે એ લોકોએ શું કરવું જોઈએ?
ખાસ કરીને જે વિદ્યાર્થી વૈજ્ઞાનિક બનવા માગતો હોય તો એણે R&D, રિસર્ચ એન્ડ ડેવલપમેન્ટ, કોઈપણ ક્ષેત્રમાં કંઈક પણ સિદ્ધિ પ્રાપ્ત કરવી હોય તો એ એજ્યુકેશનમાં હોય, મેડિકલમાં હોય, એગ્રીકલ્ચરમાં હોય, ઇન એની ડિપાર્ટમેન્ટ, પણ રિસર્ચ એન્ડ ડેવલપમેન્ટમાં જે વિદ્યાર્થી રુચિ ધરાવે, ઊંડો રસ લે અને એમાં જ મથ્યો રહે, તો હું માનું ત્યાં સુધી વૈજ્ઞાનિક બનવા માટે રિસર્ચ એન્ડ ડેવલપમેન્ટ એ પાયાની વાત છે.
અને ભવિષ્યમાં વિજ્ઞાન ક્ષેત્રે સરકાર આગળ શું પગલાં લઈ રહી છે?
અમે દરેક વિભાગમાં R&Dની પૂરી વ્યવસ્થા, દરેક બજેટમાં, દરેક વિભાગમાં અમે R&D માટે વધારે ફંડ ફાળવતા આવ્યા છે. આ જોયા પછી લાગે છે કે આ બજેટમાં પણ અમારે એની વ્યવસ્થા અમે પૂર્તિ કરીશું, કે જેથી કરીને ગુજરાતના જે વિદ્યાર્થીઓ છે, હોનહાર વિદ્યાર્થીઓ, એને પૂરી તક મળે.
મહાત્મા મંદિર ખાતે નોબેલ પ્રાઇઝ સિરીઝ 2017 અંતર્ગત બીજું સત્ર યોજાયું હતું. આ સેમિનારનો વિષય હતો લોકલ રિસર્ચ, ગ્લોબલ ઇમ્પેક્ટ, એડ્રેસિંગ ગ્લોબલ ચેલેન્જીસ હતો, જેમાં મેડિસિન નોબેલ પ્રાઇઝ વિજેતા ડોક્ટર હેરોલ્ડ વર્મુસ, મેડિસિન નોબેલ પ્રાઇઝ વિજેતા વૈજ્ઞાનિક ડોક્ટર રેન્ડી શેકમેન, મેડિસિન નોબેલ પ્રાઇઝ વિજેતા વૈજ્ઞાનિક ડોક્ટર રિચર્ડ રોબર્ટ તેમજ કેમેસ્ટ્રી નોબેલ પ્રાઇઝ વિજેતા ભારતીય મૂળના વૈજ્ઞાનિક ડોક્ટર વેંકટરામન રામાકૃષ્ણન હાજર રહ્યા હતા.
This is our world. A beautiful world. A perfect habitat of men and nature. But full of hardships and calamities that challenge human existence every now and then. It is the human being who never gives up, even in the most extreme situations. He continues to ask questions, to search and to research until the quest is answered. India is such a land of age-old civilization and scientific capabilities and traditions. This country, a home to 1.3 billion people, is a powerhouse to ideas and innovations. Today, the time has come for Indian science to embark on a new quest, to fulfill the global needs with its capabilities to ask questions and do research by posing questions like, how can our research in science and technology accelerate so that we can be a major force for global good? How can we make our scientists see opportunity in frugal innovation and entrepreneurship for public good? How can Indian science most effectively progress to contribute to global good? Accompanying us in our quest for the answers are these masters of science. Venkataraman Ramakrishnan, the Tamil Nadu-born American citizen whose contribution in study of ribosome, the tiniest particles present on this planet, was a massive contribution for the development of antibiotics. Randy Sheckman, the bright mind who performed the Nobel research for understanding and making the transport system in cells simpler. Harold Varmus, who discovered and presented new opportunities for research into possible cancer treatments. Richard Roberts, who successfully demonstrated how a gene can attain the potential to form a number of different proteins. So, let's discuss, debate and deliberate. Nobel Prize Series India 2017. Nobel Dialogue 2017.
આ સેમિનારમાં વક્તાઓએ એડ્સ, મેલેરિયા, ટીબી અને કેન્સર પર થતા રિસર્ચ અને કેવી રીતે વિજ્ઞાન આ રોગોને અટકાવવામાં મદદરૂપ થાય અને તેના સંશોધનોની વાત તેમણે રજૂ કરી હતી. આ વૈજ્ઞાનિકો દ્વારા પર્યાવરણીય ફેરફારો અને તેની માનવજાત પર અસર તેમજ તૂટતા ઓઝોન લેયર વિશે ચિંતા વ્યક્ત કરી હતી. આ વૈજ્ઞાનિકોએ ભારત શક્તિશાળી રાષ્ટ્ર કઈ રીતે બને તે અંગે પોતાના વિચારો રજૂ કર્યા હતા. વૈજ્ઞાનિક ટેકનોલોજીના માધ્યમથી માનવીયની સુખ સુવિધામાં આવતા પરિવર્તનોની વાત તેમણે રજૂ કરી હતી. આ વૈજ્ઞાનિકોએ બીટી કોટન વિશે વાત કરી હતી. આ સેમિનારમાં યુવાનો, પ્રોફેસરો અને વૈજ્ઞાનિકો દ્વારા પ્રશ્નોત્તરી કરવામાં આવી હતી, જેના આ વૈજ્ઞાનિકોએ સુંદર રીતે જવાબો આપ્યા હતા.
India does have a remarkable opportunity. If you put together the new means of digital identification of individuals, the expertise in computational sciences, the remarkable diversity of the population, and the transition that this country is going through with respect to wealth, diet, behaviors, that the ability to accumulate and evaluate, analyze data that could be, it's going to be difficult to amass on a similar scale anywhere else, ought to be effectively pursued. One of my main concerns about that is something that Venki alluded to, and I mentioned to the Prime Minister last night, and that is a poorly developed career path for people who are medically trained so that they understand some of the basic precepts of research. There are government directives about how clinical trials are handled that need to be, they're beginning to change, they need to be further changed, so the clinical trial process that allows preventive and therapeutic strategies to be tested will be incredibly important, and the educational process, whether it involves MD, PhD programs or some other course of development, will be critical, along with governmental regulatory means, to be sure that you capitalize on this incredible opportunity that your diverse population affords.
For me, the passion that Watson brought to the subject was intoxicating, and so just from that experience, that really I would say a piece of literature was what influenced my career choice. So literature, like all art, can be life-changing.
My current wife was the graphic artist at Cold Spring Harbor Lab, and so for several years all of the artwork that came out of Cold Spring Harbor in the manuscripts that we published, she had produced, and so I have a very different view of just how valuable art is, because I think a good diagram, a good schematic, a good picture, even a good cartoon can be incredibly helpful in conveying messages about science to people who are non-scientists.
I started life as a physicist, and I used to sort of look down on biology as a sort of collection of facts and rote learning and so on. And it was only when I read the double helix that I realized, what an exciting area it was. And the reason I mentioned the double helix is it goes back to the Watson and Crick paper, and one of the things that has now become part of art iconography is that very, very simple diagram, the figure in that double helix paper in Nature, which was actually drawn by Francis Crick's wife, Odile, for the manuscript. And it shows you the power of images. And I think, if you ask many scientists, they'll often be amateur musicians or amateur artists. And I think part of it is that all of these areas are very creative areas which involve somehow either appreciating or recognizing or generating patterns in their most general sense. And there's some common element to all of these things. And it may be just subconscious, but certainly these things are related, whether we consciously are influenced or not.
કાર્યક્રમના અંતે મહેમાનોનું અભિવાદન કરવામાં આવ્યું હતું.